Okay. What is going on, sir? I have to like look at the. I have to look closely to read the chat. How you doing there? You doing okay? Hell yeah! This is the hardest part. Right here, baby. We're gonna study it. It's all gravy after school. What's going on, Michael? How you doing today? Can y'all hear me? Can you let me know in the chat if you can hear me or not? I'm not sure if you can or not. Let me see. Yes, you can hear me. Okay. All right. Well, it's not that great of a quality, but that's okay. What is this? All right. Okay. I just want to make sure the audio can be heard. All right. We're going to like the stream. Okay. All right. So let's do this. I am using the, uh, it's called the CDL Prep. That's what I'm using. Yeah, it's this application right here. If you can see it, CDL Prep. There is a practice mode and there is an exam mode. We're just going to do practice mode right now because I haven't really been studying a whole lot, and I should be. Okay. You are driving on a straight level highway at 50 miles an hour. There's no vehicles in front of you. Suddenly, a tire blew out of your vehicle. What should you do first? Begin light braking, stay off the brake until the vehicle has slowed down, or begin emergency braking. It's A, B, or C. I'm going to say stay off the brake until the vehicle has slowed down. I'm picking that one. Stay off the brake until the vehicle has slowed down. Submit. All right, I got the question right. Because up here, it says I got 100%. I got the question right. You are driving a truck with a manual transmission. What gear will you probably have to use to take a long, steep downhill grade? A, a higher gear than you would use to climb the hill, the same gear you would use to climb the hill, or C, a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. I am going to say the last one, a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. Let's see. I got that one right too. It is a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. You are checking your wheels and rims for a pre trip, Angel. For a pre trip inspection. I'm calling you out there, buddy. Sorry about that. For a pre trip inspection, which of these statements is true? This is no, there's like on the practice exam, there's 239 questions. This is just general knowledge. Okay, you are checking your wheels and rims for a pre trip inspection. Which of these statements is true? A, a vehicle can be safely driven with one missing lug nut on a wheel. B, rust around wheel nuts may mean that they are loose. Or C, mismatched lock rings can be used on the same vehicle. I am going to say B, rust around the wheel nuts may mean that the lug nuts are loose. I got that one right too. That is correct. That is correct, Angel. You got it. I mean, you're a CDL holder, so if you get it wrong, I'm gonna call them and tell them to make you remake it. Eh? Or a bluing around the threads. Yep. Okay. Here we are again. You are checking your tires for a pre-trip inspection. Angel, a stick with bird, be stick bird, ram him off road, or C drive up. You are checking your tires for a pre-trip inspection. Which of these statements is true? A, tires of mismatched sizes should not be used together in the same vehicle. 2/32 tread depth is safe for front tires. Or C, radial and bias ply tires can be used together on the same vehicle. It says which one of these statements is true? I'm going to say tires of mismatched sizes should not be used together in the same vehicle. That's what I'm going to say. And I am still right. I am at 100%. 4 for 4. All right. If a straight vehicle, not a trailer or articulation, goes into a front wheel skid, it will A, go straight ahead but will turn if you turn the steering wheel, B, go straight ahead even if the steering wheel is turned, or C, slide sideways and spin out. If a straight vehicle, not a trailer or articulation, goes into a front wheel skid, it will. I'm going to say A, go straight ahead, but will turn if you turn the steering wheel. I didn't look at your answer, Angel. Just saying. But I'm saying A. Ooh, I got it wrong. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I messed up. I didn't. Yeah, hello. The correct answer is actually B, go straight ahead, even if the steering wheel is turned. I forgot about thought about yeah, it's a front wheel. Front wheel. I didn't even think of it. Hello. Oh well. So I got it wrong. It says CY. So it says front wheel skids. In a front wheel skid, the front end tends to go straight, regardless of how much you turn the steering wheel. So I got that wrong. I should have got it right, but I wasn't thinking it right. I wasn't thinking about it correctly. All right. Continue. If you need to leave the road in a traffic emergency, you should A, try to get all wheels off of the pavement. B, avoid the shoulder because most most will not support a large vehicle. Or C, avoid braking until your speed has dropped to about 20 miles per hour. I am going to say C, avoid braking until your speed has dropped to about 20 miles per hour. I got it correct. Yippee! All right. Uh, which of these statements about certain types of cargo is true? A, oversized load can be hauled without a special permit during times when the roads are not busy. I know that one is not right because my dad used to he used to escort the oversized loads and they have to have a special permit. So, um, unstable loads such as hanging meat or livestock can require extra caution on curves. Or C, when liquids are hauled, the tank should always be loaded totally full. To be honest with you, I don't remember this one, but let's see, which of these statements about certain types of cargo is true? I'm going to say B, unstable load such as hanging meat or livestock can require extra caution on curves. That's what I'm going to say. Because it kind of, if the hanging meat or livestock, when you go on a curve, it's going to like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I got it right. What the? What is? Sorry, I got a stupid ad. Uh, come on, skip ad. Let me close that. All right. According to the driver's manual, why should you limit the use of the horn? A, it can startle other drivers. B, you should always keep firm grip on the steering wheel with both hands. C, the horn is not a good way to let other drivers know you are there. I'm going to say B. You should always keep firm grip on the steering wheel with both hands. I got it wrong. I should have thought about that a little bit more. The correct answer is it can startle other drivers, which is, if they're paying attention, you wouldn't need to use the horn. Just saying. Says CY. Communicating your presence, your horn can let others know you are there. It can help to avoid a crash. Use your horn when needed. However, it can startle other drivers. It can startle others and could be dangerous when used unnecessarily. So that's two I got wrong. Okay. You do not have a hazardous materials endorsement on your commercial driver's license. You are asked to deliver hazardous materials in a placarded vehicle. You should A, refuse to haul the load, B, haul the load, but only to the nearest place where a driver with a hazmat endorsement can take over, or C, haul the load, but file a report with DOT after the trip. Well, when it comes to multiple choice, you gotta really think about that, because the most dumbest answer you automatically take away. You're obviously not going to haul the load and file a report with DOT, because if you do that, you're going to get, I don't know, you're probably going to get in big trouble. So we know it's not C, and you know you're not going to haul the load anyway. So it's obviously going to be A. You're going to refuse the load. You're going to refuse to haul the load, obviously. They're not going to pay you extra money. All right, I got it right. Which of these statements about staying alert to drive is true? If you must stop, wait, it says, so which of these statements about staying alert to drive is true? A, if you must stop to take a nap, it should be at a truck stop or other rest area and never on the side of the road. B, sleep is the only thing that can overcome fatigue. C, a half-hour break for coffee will do more to keep you alert than an hour or a half-hour nap. Let's see. If you must stop to take a nap, it should. Well, we know it's not going to be A, because I've seen truck drivers take a drive, like stop on the side of the road. I've seen that happen. And in all honesty, I don't. If you're going to sleep, you're supposed to do it during your scheduled break. I think, like after your shift is over, like after your 10 or 11 hour day, or whatever that is. Uh, Honestly, I think the best answer is going to be sleep is the only thing that can overcome fatigue. So I'm going to pick B. Boop. I got it right. And give me a second, guys. I'm going to turn on this overhead light so it's a little bit better lighting here. Hold on. All right. That's better. All right. How's that? Is that better? A little bit? Give me a second here. There we go. All right. Next question. Number 11. Your vehicle has hydraulic brakes. While traveling on a level road, you press the brake pedal and find that it goes to the floor. Which of these statements is true? A, the parking brake will not work either because it is a part of the same hydraulic system. B, pumping the brake pedal may bring the pressure up so you can stop the vehicle. Or C, shifting into neutral will help to slow the vehicle. I don't think it's C. Please keep in mind, guys, I've never studied for the CDL exam. I'm just doing a practice CDL prep test. So literally, I have not read the handbook. I'm just going based on common sense, if you will. Let's see here. Parking brake will not work either because it is a part of the same hydraulic system. Or B, pumping the brake pedal may bring the pressure up so you can stop the vehicle. I'm going to say I'm torn between A and B, but I'm trying to figure out which one I should pick better. Um, I'm going to say pumping the brake pedal may bring the pressure up so you can stop the vehicle. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to let you guys know. I got it correct. Pumping the brake. What is going on? Yes, I do speak. What's going on, Ariella Fuentes? How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the stream. What's up? What's up, Gus? How you doing? Welcome in, everybody. All right. So, guys, I do apologize. Like I said before, this is a practice CDL-A permit. I am trying to get my permit so I can become a CDL driver. I have not studied. I'm just reading the test, prep questions, and see how I do. I'm 11 questions in. I'm at 81%. So I'm not great. I'm supposed to need an 80 to pass. You are driving a vehicle at 55 miles an hour on dry pavement. About how much total stopping distance will you need to bring it to a stop? Let's see, twice the length of the vehicle, A. B, half the length of a football field. Or C, the length of a football field. I know it takes a lot longer to stop an 18 wheeler, so I'm going to say the length of a football field. Boop. C. Submit. I got it correct. Awesome. All right. Which of these statements about cold weather driving is true? A. Exhaust system leaks are less dangerous in cold weather. B. Windshield washer antifreeze should be used. Or C. An engine cannot overheat when the weather is very cold. You know, when you take multiple choice questions, you know there's always one stupid answer. And that's letters number C, an engine cannot overheat when the weather is very cold. I'm pretty sure that's false. So, exhaust system leaks are less dangerous in cold weather. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure an exhaust leak is going to be dangerous in any weather. So I'm going to say windshield washer antifreeze should be used, which is B. I got it right. All right. When driving at night, you should A, this says dim your lights, but I'm pretty sure they mean dim your lights within 300 feet of an oncoming vehicle. B, adjust your speed to keep your stopping distance within your sight distance. C, look to the left of the road when a vehicle is coming towards you. Well, if you're driving and people are coming at you, you're not going to want to look to the left. Remember, there's always one dumb answer that's going to stand out. So if you look to the left, obviously that's going to be at the coming traffic. So you're not going to want to look to the left, obviously. So now you have a 50-50 chance of getting this answer right. I know when you're taking your regular driver's license, they tell you to dim your lights within a certain amount of feet within an oncoming traffic. I think it's like 300 or 500, something like that. So I'm going to say dim your lights within 300 feet of an oncoming vehicle. Submit. I got it wrong. Uh, I should have said the other one. Adjust your speed to keep your stopping distance within your sight distance. I should have got that right, but I didn't. It was a 50-50 shot. What can I say? Like I said, I've never studied. So, anyways, let's see why. Section 2.11.4 Vehicle Factors. At night, your headlights will usually be the main source of light for you to see, by, and for others to see you. You can't see nearly as much with your headlights as you see in the daytime. With low beams, you can see ahead about 250, and with high beams, about 350 to 500 feet. You must adjust your speed to keep your stopping distance within your sight distance. I should have known that. That was a dumb answer. This means going slowly enough to be able to stop within the range of your headlights. Otherwise, by the time you see a hazard, you will not have time to stop. All right. Okay. Which of these statements about downshifting is true? Pardon me. A, when double clutching, you should let the RPMs decrease while the clutch is released and the shift lever is in neutral. I've never driven a CDL, I've driven a standard but a regular automobile. When you downshift for a curve, you should do so before you enter the curve. That makes sense. When you downshift for a hill, you should do so after you start the. No. If you're going to downshift, you should do it before you do the hill. When double clutching, you should let the RPMs decrease. I mean, you have to shift kind of fast. I mean, the RPMs are not going to decrease that much. I'm going to say when you downshift for a curve, this is B. When you downshift for a curve, you should do so before you enter the curve. That's what I'm going to say. Let's see if I get it right. I got it right. Awesome. What's going on? It's false. Well, I got it right. So tell me. Uh, for your safety, when setting out reflective triangles, you should A, turn on your flashers, B, hold the triangles between yourself and oncoming traffic, or C, keep them out of sight while you walk to the spots where you set them out. Let's see here. Turn on your flashers. That makes sense. Uh, for your safety, when setting out the reflective triangles, you should hold the triangles between yourself, oncoming traffic. Keep them out of sight while you walk to the spots where you should set them out. Ooh, well, C is the longest answer. I'm going to say keep them out of sight while you walk to the spots where you set them off. But it might be B. Well, it might be A too. Okay. Yeah, it's hold the triangles between yourself and oncoming traffic. Obviously, so they can see it. You're just a forklift driver? No worries, Joey. I've driven a forklift too, but it was like when I was young. Let's see here. Okay. Continue. As the blood alcohol concentration, or BAC, goes up, what happens? A, judgment and self control are affected. B, the effects of alcohol decrease. They actually increase, so we know that's not it. Let's see here. The drinker more clearly sees how alcohol is affecting him or her. I'm going to say A, judgment and self control are affected. I got it right. Woohoo! D, all the way, all the above. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Gus. It was A. All right. Which of these is a good thing to remember about using mirrors? God knows. Even four-wheel people and four-wheel cars don't know how to use mirrors or blinkers for that matter. Just saying. Which of these is a good thing to remember about using mirrors? You should look at a mirror for several seconds at a time. Convex mirrors make things look larger and closer than they really are. There are blind spots that your mirror cannot show. Those all sound pretty good, but if you look at the mirror for several seconds, that's taking your eyes off of the road. So I don't think that's it. Um, there are definitely blind spots that your mirror cannot show, but you have mirrors that are like blind spot mirrors, so that doesn't make sense. I'm going to say it's convex mirrors make things look larger and closer than they really are. I got it wrong. It should have been there are blind spots that your mirror cannot show. That's what I should have said. CY. Section 2.4.2, seeing the to the sides and rear. There are blind spots that your mirrors cannot show you. Check your mirrors regularly to know where other vehicles are around you and to see if they move into your blind spots. Okay, well, at least I know it's not the convex mirrors. Uh, I'm old. I forgot what the right side. Yep. Mm-hmm. Continue. Hydroplaning. A cannot occur when driving through a puddle. B is more likely if tire pressure is low. Or C only occurs when there is a lot of water. I'm going to say B is more likely to if tire pressure is low. Come on. I got it right. If you are being tailgated, uh, let's see. If you are being tailgated, you should A, signal the tailgater when it is safe to pass you. B, increase your following distance. Or C, flash your brake lights. Or D, slam on the brakes and let the son bitch hit you. I'm just kidding. Don't do that one. D is not on there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Then you're causing an accident. I'm going to say it's B, increase your following distance. I got it right. Increase your following distance. Because that means the person behind you is going to go, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Shit. Y'all saw that, right? Oh, there we go again. It's thundering, lightning. Got a bad rainstorm out here. Uh, all right. Question number 21. A key principle to remember about loading cargo is to keep the load A to the front, B to the rear, or C balanced in the cargo area. Loading cargo is to keep the load front, rear. I'm going to say balanced in the cargo area. I got it correct. Joey, did you tell again? Make sure it's a cop behind you. Yes, Joey, definitely. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay. How far should a driver look ahead of the vehicle while driving? A, 18 to 21 seconds. B, 5 to 8 seconds. Or C, 12 to 15 seconds. I'm going to say C, 12 to 15 seconds. Because 20 seconds, that's 18 to 20, that's a lot, I think. I'm going to say 12 to 15 seconds. I got it correct. It's 12 to 15 seconds. How do you correct a drive wheel acceleration skid? A, apply more power to the wheels. B, stop accelerating. Or C, downshift. I'm going to say stop accelerating. I'm going to say stop accelerating. Submit. I got it correct. It is. It was to take your feet off the gas or stop accelerating. The purpose of the retards. I'm just kidding. Sorry. The purpose of the retarder is to A, help slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. B, apply extra braking power to the non drive axles. Or C, help prevent skids. I'm gonna say so. A retarder, it helps slow the vehicle down. I'm gonna say help slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. Fall behind me lots of times, so close and brake check them, and they get mad. Yep, that is true. That is true. I can't stand people that tailgate. It sucks. I mean, can't stand it. It irritates the hell out of me. And I'm not a I don't have a CDL yet. All right. The purpose of the retarder is to A. I'm going to say it's helped to slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. I got that correct. Okay. Controlled braking is A, used to keep a vehicle in a straight line when braking. B, can be used when you are turning sharply. Or C, involves locking the wheels for a short period of time. I'm going to say it is used to keep a vehicle in a straight line when braking. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to say it's A. I got it correct. Thank you. Yeah, okay, here we go, Michael. If you get a girl, shit. Oh, God, I really want to read this. If you get a girl pregnant, do you A, since, wait, do you A, since not my baby, B, say I want the DNA test, or C, run away? It's not my baby. Say I want the DNA test, or C, run away? Well, Michael, that's a really good question. Um, hmm. I don't know how to answer that, but I can say this: if you haven't done anything with the girl and she gets pregnant, probably not going to be yours. All right, back to the permit here. Which of these is a good thing to do when steering to avoid a crash? Which of these is a good thing to do when steering to avoid a crash? A, steer with one hand so that you can turn the wheel more quickly. Remember when I said there's multiple choice and you're going to have one answer that's really stupid that sticks out like a sore thumb? That's probably it. You're not going to steer with one hand on an 18 wheeler. I mean, you probably can, but yeah, no. Uh, apply the brakes while turning is B. Or C, don't turn any more than needed to clear what is in your way. That's the obvious answer. Because if you oversteer, guess what? You're going to jerk that wheel and you're going to flip. Not me. Yeah, I'm going to say don't turn any more than needed to clear what is in your way. Got it correct. All right. You should stop driving. A, was it C? I think it was C. Uh, you should stop driving A, after 9 hours. B, whenever you become sleepy. Or C, after 5 hours. Well, it kind of goes back to that question about sleep. Kind of goes back to that question about sleep earlier. The only way to stop the sleepiness is to sleep. If you get sleepy, well, obviously you want to go to sleep. Kind of like if you're horny, you want to, you know what I mean? You can't just let Rosie Palmer and her five sisters handle it. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be the best thing. Read my last comment before that one. Joey. A. Fall behind me lots of times, so close and brake check. I read that one before they get mad. Did you tell them again? Make sure it's a cop behind you and it's D. Right side. Last comment before that. I read all your comments, Joey, I believe. Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay, you should stop driving. Yeah, obviously it's going to be B. Whenever you become sleepy, submit. I got that wrong. I'm just kidding. I got it right. It's whenever you become sleepy. Good job. Good job, Gus. You got that right. All right. Which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for injured persons at an accident scene? Which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for an injured person at an accident? A. If a qualified person is helping them, stay out of the way unless asked to assist. Well, I'm going to say that one is for sure the right thing to do. So we automatically know it's not going to be A. B. Move severely injured person if there is a danger due to fire or passing traffic. Or C. Keep injured persons cool. It says which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for an injured person at an accident scene. The lizard one. Hold on, Joey. You said something about a lizard? Let me go back. Let's see. Joey, I didn't see anything about a lizard. I'm scrolling through all the comments. Ignacio says he speaks. Ariella says hi. False. Just a forklift driver. Oh, here it goes. Hold on. Never mind. Here's one. It says in the 90s, I was a truck driver. I can't remember it because I was working for a carnival. Okay. Right side. The cop behind you. The cop gets mad. Yeah, Joey, I didn't see anything about the lizard. I went all the way through all the comments. I didn't see anything about a lizard. Oh, it was flagged. That's weird. Um, was it a dirty Was it a dirty joke or a dirty comment? Like, was there curse words or anything? I think if there's curse words, it automatically it flags it. I'm not real sure. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I didn't even see the comment about flagged. Lot lizard. Oh, I figured it had to be something about lot lizards. Let's see here. Settings. Community moderation. Chat filter. We're gonna say all. Show all messages. Okay. Huh. Joey, can you repeat the question and see if it'll populate this time? See if it'll come on. All right. Which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for injured persons at an accident scene. If a qualified person is helping them, stay out of the way unless asked to assist. Move severely injured person if there is a danger due to fire or passing traffic. Or C, keep injured persons cool. I think the keep injured persons cool is not. Uh, I mean, do you want to keep them hot? What if it is cold outside? What if it's hot outside? Man, I'm gonna say A. To be honest, I'm gonna say A. If a qualified person is helping them, stay out of the way unless asked. I got it wrong. I should have keep injured persons cool. I should have put that one. Anyways, see why care for the injured. List item. Keep the injured person warm. But it doesn't say if it's in a cold weather, keep them warm. Because what if it's the middle of summer and it's 100 degrees outside? Well, then you have to keep them cool. Well, if it's the winter, well, they're already going to be cool. It says keep the injured person warm. It should say if it's in winter, then keep them warm, obviously. Anyways, okay. I got an ad. Sorry, guys. You guys still in here? Oh, Joey, I got a lot lizard pregnant. Oh God, I feel sorry for you, man. I know you said that's a joke, but man, that would suck. That would definitely suck. Just saying. Uh, what if it turned out to be a cop undercover? uh, okay. Oh, here we go again. Hold on. I got to go back. Practice mode. Okay. You should avoid driving through deep puddles or flowing water. But if you must, in other words, if you must drive through a deep puddle or flowing water, which of these steps can help to keep your brakes working? Gently putting on A, gently putting on the brakes while driving through the water. B, turning on your brake heater. Or C, applying hard pressure on both the brake pedal and accelerator after coming out of the water. Undercover cop will be sweet. Yeah, until you go to jail. That would suck. Uh, I guarantee you, I don't know. I don't know how guys do it, man. That's just. I mean, you put it like I've heard stories of like guys putting stickers or like signs on their windows for like lot lizards saying, "Do not knock on my door if you're a lot lizard," and you know something stupid like that. I mean, it's not stupid. I mean, you're just telling them like, "Hey, I don't want to be bothered." But yeah, I'm gonna say gently putting on the brakes while driving through the water because you're keeping the brakes dry. I think got it right. Truck drivers are putting cameras on their trucks. Yeah, that's something else I thought about doing. Um, and I had told one of my buddies, he was in here earlier, Conbini Goblin. I told him it's like get a dash cam, man, because I told him you can make YouTube content easily with a dash cam, like your own personal. Put it up in the mirror when you got or in the windshield when you got some dumbass person in a four wheel cut you off, slam on the brakes. You got proof. I mean, yeah, the company's got their own, but you can make content like that and just post videos all day long. It'd be crazy. Well, not all day long because you can't do it while you're driving. I thought about that too. Like if I get when I get my CDL, hopefully, get some and put them on. I don't know. It'd have to be multiple cameras or maybe like those 360s. I don't know if that would work, but to where you can actually see people like if they're coming up to your trailer, unhooking the pin, fucking with your landing gear, flattening tires, all kinds of stuff. But I thought about that too. I'm talking about when they're sleeping. There's some truck drivers from different truck and stealing stuff from their trucks. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know why people got to do that, man. That's fucked up. I don't know why people got to do that. All right, question number 30. Which of these statements about drugs is true? A. Amphetamines can be used to help the driver stay alert. Remember, I said there's always one dumb question, one dumb answer. That's the dumb answer. So you already know that's not it. I mean, I know it's supposed to help people focus. That's what they have ADHD for, but it helps them focus. But yeah, no, you don't want to be using controlled substances while you're driving a truck or any vehicle for that matter. Um, Z just. B, use of drugs can lead to an accident and or arrest. That's for sure. True. A driver can use any prescription drug while driving. I'm going to say use of drugs can lead to an accident or arrest. Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to want you driving with a controlled substance in your system. I got it right. All right. Which of these is a good thing to remember when crossing or entering traffic with a heavy vehicle? A, because heavy vehicles are easy to see, you can count on other drivers to move out of your way, slow down for you. B, the best way to cross the traffic is to pull the vehicle partway across the road and block one lane while waiting for the other to clear. Or C, heavy vehicles need larger gaps in traffic than other cars. Partway across the road and block one lane while waiting for the other to clear. Are easy to see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not A because yeah, just because you have a big truck doesn't mean people are going to move out of the way. It's obviously it's going to be B, like you said, Joey. Heavy vehicles need larger gaps in traffic than cars. That's what you said, Gus. I'm thinking it's B, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong on several of these. Uh, because it says heavy vehicles, it doesn't necessarily mean like wide load. I mean, if it says wide load, yeah, obviously they need a lot more. They take up larger spaces. Uh, I'm going to say the best way to cross traffic is to pull the vehicle partway across. Now, because that might not be wrong. That might not be right either. Yeah, you're right. Heavy vehicles need larger gaps in traffic than cars. I should have picked that, and I didn't. Because otherwise, you're blocking traffic, and that's not a good thing. Let's see here. Section 2.7.7 Space needed to cross or enter traffic. Because of slower acceleration and the space large vehicles require, you may need a much larger gap to enter traffic than you would in a car. Well, obviously, because it's a bigger truck, bigger vehicle. I should have got that right and I didn't. Oh well. All right. You are driving a heavy vehicle with a manual transmission. You have to stop the vehicle on the shoulder while driving on an uphill grade. Which of these is a good rule to follow when putting it back in motion up the grade? A. Let the vehicle roll backwards a few feet before you engage the clutch, but turn the wheel so that the back moves away from the roadway. Keep the clutch slipping while slowly accelerating. Or C, use the parking brake to hold the vehicle until the clutch engages. I'm going to say C. Use the parking brake until the to hold the vehicle while the clutch engages. That's what I'm going to say. No, you're good. You did good. You got the answer right. All right, I got that one right. All right, you are driving a heavy vehicle. You must exit a highway using an off ramp that curves downhill. A, or you should A, wait until you are in the curve before downshifting. B, slow down to a safe speed before the curve. Or C, slow to the posted speed limit for the off ramp. I'm going to say B, slow down to a safe speed before the curve. That's correct. Okay. You must park on a side of a level, straight, 4-lane, divided highway. Where should you place the reflective triangles? A, one within 10 feet of the rear of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear, and one about 100 feet to the front of the vehicle. B, that one doesn't make sense. A didn't make sense. One with about 10 feet of the, within about 10 feet of the front of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear, and one about 200 feet to the rear. That doesn't make sense either. Yeah, this one is what it is. One within 10 feet of the rear of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear, and then one about 200 feet to the rear. So it's C. Boop. Got it right. All right. You are driving on a 2-lane road. An oncoming driver drifts into your lane and is headed straight for you. Hit that son bitch. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. An oncoming driver drifts into your lane and is headed straight for you. Which of these is most often the best action to take? A, steer on to the left shoulder. B, steer to the right. Or C, hard braking. I'm going to say B, steer to the right. Because you don't want to steer to the left. If you steer to the left and he decides to cut back over to the left, you're going to slam into him. Either way. So I'm going to say steer to the right. I got it right. Steer to the right. Oh, here we go. Another app. Okay. All right. This one is called brake fade. A, can be caused by the brakes getting very hot. B, can be corrected by letting up on the brakes for 1 to 2 seconds and then reapplying them. C, is a problem that only occurs with drum brakes. Can be caused by the brakes getting very hot. I'm going to say B, or A, I think. Can be corrected by letting up on the brakes for 1 or 2 seconds and then reapplying them. It might be B, though. Hmm. By the brakes getting very hot? Yeah, that's my first choice. B is my second. It was right. A is the right answer. All right. I need to refresh my learning truck driver's class A license. Yeah. I'm just barely, like, I haven't even studied. I'm just taking these tests, these questions to see how I do if I don't study. You know what I mean? So far, out of 37 questions, I'm at 87%. For never studying, I think I'm doing pretty good. And I'm at 37 questions, so that's good. And you need an 80 to pass. All right. Which of these statements about engine overheating is true? A. You should never shut off an overheated engine until it cools. B. You should never remove the radiator cap on a pressurized system until the system is cooled. That's probably I think that's the answer. Antifreeze is not needed when the weather is warm. There's always one question or one answer that is stupid. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm at 87 right now, and I've out of 37 questions. I'm going to say B. You should never remove the radiator cap. That's on any vehicle. When the system's hot, you don't want to remove the cap. So yeah, it's B. All right. Excellent. Good job, Gruss. You got it right. I got it right too. Which of these statements about overhead clearance is true? A. You should assume posted clearance signs are correct. The weight of a vehicle changes height. Yep. If the road surface causes your vehicle to tilt toward objects at the edge of the road, you should drive close to the shoulder. The weight of the vehicle changes height. That's what I think it is. B. Radiator caps with the vehicle still run. You can still open it up. There is no pressure. Yeah, but it's hot. So, Joey, if the vehicle's hot and you go to open that, you're going to end up with radiator. You're going to end up with antifreeze and shit all over your face and everywhere. Yeah, you always want to make sure the system's cooled down a little bit before you do it. You don't want to do it when it's hot. The weight of the vehicle could change the vehicle's height. B. I got it right. All right. You did too, Gus. Good job. It says there's nobody in the live, but there is. It says there's two, y'all two are talking, so grab your wife's cooking glove. But what if your wife isn't with you though? What if the lot lizard's not with you? Yeah, what if the lot lizard's not with you? Which of these statements about vehicle fire is true? A. If your engine is on fire, you should open the hood as soon as you can. B. A burning tire should be cooled with water. C. If cargo in a van or box trailer catches fire, you should open the cargo door as soon as possible. I'm going to say A and C are the wrong thing to do. I still have my work gloves. Nice. Which of these statements about vehicle fire is true? If your engine is on fire, you should open the hood as soon as possible. You don't want to do that because then the flames are going to burst up in your face. If the it's kind of like a backdraft. Yeah, I think you're right, Alan. I'm pretty sure you're right. Actually, it just makes more sense. Uh, because if the cargo in a van or box trailer catches fire, you should open the cargo door as soon as possible. You don't do that because then the fire's going to blow out in your face again. So obviously, a tire should be cooled with water. Correct. Good job, guys. Good job. All right. You must drive on a slippery road. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? A. Slow down. Yeah, run, bro. Run. Screw the truck, man. Just run. Because if it explodes, it's going to be bad. um, you must drive on a slippery road. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? A. Slow down gradually. B. Use a smaller following distance. Or C. Apply the brakes while on curves. Well, like, yeah, you apply the brakes while you're on a curve, you're probably going to go sliding around, being like Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, or something. You're definitely going to want to slow down gradually. Good job, guys. That's probably the right answer. Yeah, we're all good. Woo! All right. Which of these statements is true about acceleration? Which of these statements about acceleration is true? A, you should feel a jerking motion if you accelerate your vehicle properly. B, rough acceleration can cause mechanical damage. C, when traction is poor, more power should be applied to the accelerator. There's always one dumb answer. C is the dumb answer, obviously. Mostly common. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely mostly common sense. Um, yeah, when your tractor is poor, that's like saying, okay, you don't have very good traction. Best way to fix that is punch it. Then your tires are just going to sit there. Yeah, rough acceleration can cause mechanical damage. All right. Which of these statements about brakes is true? Brake drums cool very quickly when the vehicle is moving very fast. B, the heavier a vehicle or the faster it is moving, the more heat the brakes must absorb to stop it. I'm going to say that one. Uh, C, brakes have more stopping power than they get very hot. Brakes have more stopping power than they get very hot. Yeah, I'm going to say the heavier a vehicle or the faster it is moving, the more heat the brakes must absorb to stop it. I got it right. Good job, guys. Put the vehicle in neutral. Yeah, it did mention that earlier, I think, in one of the things when it was talking about. I think it was talking about brake fade. I think that's what it was talking about. When the roads are slippery, you should A, make turns as gently as possible. That's correct. B, stop and test the traction while going uphill. What do you want me to do? And just stop on the hill when it's slippery and just spin the tires? There's always one dumb answer. Always one dumb answer. And then C, decrease the distance that you look ahead of your vehicle. Well, in this case, there's two dumb answers. Obviously, it's make turns as gently as possible. In Canada, put in neutral if you're on the hillside, on your trucks on a mountain highways, especially in British Columbia, Trucks License Bureau. I've never I've never driven in Canada. Hopefully get to do that. Then I can take my channel live, like doing live streams, and then I can do video games. Joey, I'm not sure if you know this or not. I actually live stream uh, video games like Alaskan Road Truckers. I play Alaskan Road Truckers on my PlayStation 5, and I live stream that. I also post shorts. Well, when it used to let me clip shorts from my live streams, but now it's not letting me do it for some reason. And I do post AI videos too sometimes. Uh, but yeah, anyways, question number 44. You are checking your brakes and suspension system. Okay, you are checking your brakes for and suspension system for a pre-trip inspection. Which of these statements is not true? Brake shoes, or sorry, A, brake shoes should have brake fluid on them. Well, it's obviously A. That's the freaking first question. Which of these statements is not true? Brake shoes should have brake fluid on them. One missing leaf in a leaf spring can be dangerous. So that's obviously true. And a cracked jump should be replaced. That's obviously true too. Remember, I said there's always one dumb answer. Well, this one there's two. That just make it obvious. Maybe I should just go take my CDL permit right now, man. But I got to wait. So before I take the permit, I have to get my DOT physical before I take the permit. That's what I got to do first. I got to take the DOT physical. I'm blind on one eye, but I can blind drive a regular vehicle with no issues, no what do you call it? So I'm pretty sure I can pass a DOT physical. Um, they'll check. They have to check your vision. I think you have to have a hundred, at least 170 degrees of vision. So I can see here, like over here, up to like if you hold your nose, like right there, I can see most of that. So it's like 170, 180 degrees, almost 180. This would be 180 here, but so I can see like that. So it's like 170. Uh, all right, you were checking your brake. Oh, I already said that one. Submit. All right, the driver's manual suggests medical is always good. Yeah, I'm looking to go to. I don't know if you're aware of this, Joey. I'm looking to go into night transportation. Uh, out of all the mega carriers, thanks, Gus. So I'm looking at doing night transportation. They're the highest paying for new drivers than anybody that I've seen online. Like I've looked, there's a trucking guy that he goes and does all these. He calls all these companies like Prime, U.S. Express, Swift, Night. Uh, there's all kinds of mega carriers out there. Anyway, um, but so far out of all the videos that I've watched of his, Night pays the highest. They're like 42 or 47 cents a mile, I think, right out of training, right out of training. Whereas like everybody else is like 30, 32. I'm like, man, that sucks, man. You're gonna be making like 600 bucks a paycheck. Well, taking home probably 600 a paycheck. All right. Okay. The driver's manual suggests several things to do when you pass a vehicle. Which of these, wait, I work for the industry of setting up for concerts. Be sweet of you or driving one of the trucks. What are the concert? Who knows? Maybe one day. Okay, the driver's manual suggests several things to do when you pass a vehicle. Which of these is not one of them? A, at night, turn on your high beams before you start to pass and leave them on until you have completely passed the vehicle. B, assume that another driver does not see you. Or C, lightly tap your horn. I'm going to say C, lightly tap your horn, only because earlier it did say a question. I don't know, man. Earlier it said don't. I mean, I get A, but earlier remember it says don't tap your horn if not, like if you don't need to. You know what I mean? Because it can scare the other driver. So I'm going to say A. I'm going to say C, lightly tap your horn, because it says which of these is not one of them that you don't want to do. Turn your high beams before you start pass. I don't know. A kind of makes sense too because you don't want to blind somebody. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna go with A, just like you said, Gus. If I get it wrong, we'll know. Okay, well you got it right. You got it right. Did you watch the UFC fight on Saturday in the hockey arena? That's where I am. I am from that city. I did not. I did not. Yeah, the not questions tripped me up. It tripped me up for sure. Definitely did on me. I was like, eh. Because I mean, two of you, it said earlier in one of the questions, you don't want to tap your horn because you can scare the driver. I'm like, well, okay. You also don't want to I don't think you should be putting your bright lights on when you're behind somebody because it's going to blind the driver. So it's kind of like a double negative almost. Uh, all right. So question number 46. The distance that you should look ahead of your vehicle while driving amounts to about blank miles at normal highway speed. The distance that you should look ahead of your vehicle while driving amounts to about how many miles at normal highway speed? A half a mile, B, an eighth of a mile, and C, a quarter of a mile. Well, we know an eighth of a mile is really short. A quarter of a mile is not that far either. Canada Life Center. So I take it, Joey, I take it you're from Canada. Is that correct? Because you that's the second time you've mentioned Canada. I'm going to say a half a mile. That would be about 12 to 15 seconds, I would assume. Oh, I got it wrong. It's actually a quarter of a mile. Hmm, I got it wrong. It's actually a quarter of a mile. CY. Section 2.4.1 Seeing ahead. Most good drivers look at least 12 to 15 seconds ahead. That means looking ahead the distance you will travel in 12 to 15 seconds. At lower speeds, that's about one block. At highway speeds, it's about a quarter of a mile. Okay. Well, I know that one for next time. Yeah, that's what I said. I said a half a mile. And A was a half a mile, and it's supposed to be C, a quarter of a mile. Quarter of a mile. 12 to 50. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you're in a vehicle doing, well, quarter, because I had an old truck that did a quarter of a mile in about 12 to 15 seconds. So that makes sense, kind of, I guess. Anyways, all right. Okay, you are starting your vehicle in motion from a stop. As you apply power to the drive wheels, they start to spin. You should A, this is the obvious answer, take your foot off of the accelerator. B, try a lower gear. Or C, take your foot off the accelerator and apply the brakes. I'm going to say A, take your foot off the accelerator because you apply the brakes, then you're going to be, you know, you don't want that. Okay. Yeah. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Nice. Hey, Greased Monkeys from Minnesota. That's pretty close. Isn't that right, Gus? You're hold on one second, guys. All right, let's see here. Okay, back to the questions. So yeah, I'm gonna say take your foot off the accelerator. Just take your foot off the accelerator. Yeah, yeah. Gus lives in northern Minnesota. You're close to Canada, right? You know what you said? All right. Which of these is the most important thing to remember about emergency braking? A, if the wheels are skidding, you cannot control your vehicle. B, never do it without downshifting first. Or C, disconnecting the steering axle brakes will keep your vehicle in a straight line during emergency braking. If the wheels are skidding, you cannot control your vehicle. You can because you'd have to let the brakes off. I'm going to say disconnecting the steering axle brakes, keep your vehicle in a straight line. Ah, man, I don't know. Never do it without downshifting first, maybe? Segi, what's going on, Segi? What's going on? Segi is here, bro. All right. Which of these is the most important thing to remember about emergency braking? A, if the wheels are skidding, you cannot control your vehicle. Never do it without downshifting first. Or C, disconnecting the steering axle brakes will keep your vehicle in a straight line during emergency braking. Steering axle, that's the front wheel, so that doesn't make sense. Never do it without downshifting first? I'm going to say never do it without downshifting first. You think it's if the wheels are skidding, you cannot control your vehicle? It's either A or B. That's what I'm assuming. Emergency braking. Do okay. Okay, we're gonna go with what y'all say. If the wheels are skidding, you cannot control your vehicle. I'm thinking never do it without down. I would think you'd downshift first because that would help slow your vehicle down. Y'all got it right. Congrats. I'm stupid. I need you guys. I need it. All right. Which of these statements about tires and hot weather driving is true? A. You should inspect your tires every 2 hours or every 100 miles when driving in very hot weather. I know. I think that's the right answer. If tires were too hot to touch, letting 5 or 10 pounds of pressure out would cool them down. There's always one dumb answer because your tires have to be inflated. I want to say it's like 100 pounds. The air pressure of tire decreases. The air pressure of a tire decreases as the temperature of the tire increases. Yeah, it's A. Inspect them every 2 hours or 100 miles. We got it right. Woo! Good job, guys. Your vehicle is in a traffic emergency and may collide with another vehicle if you do not take action. Which of these is a good rule to remember at such a time? A. You can almost always turn to miss an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. That's true. Stopping is always the safest action in a traffic emergency, but you sometimes don't have the room to stop. Leaving the road is always riskier than hitting another vehicle. I don't know if it's me. If you leave the road, you're definitely going to crash and hurt yourself, but you may hurt somebody else too. So that is definitely riskier. Okay, your vehicle traffic emergency may collide with another vehicle if you do not take action. Which of these is a good rule to remember? I'm going to say A. You can almost always turn to miss an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. Good job, guys. All right. In case of which fires can you use to put it out? Wait, can you use water to put it out? In case of which fires can you use water to put it out? Electrical fires. B, well, let me read A, sorry. A is tire fires. That's obviously the right answer because you don't pour water on an electrical fire because you're stupid if you do. Or gasoline fire. You don't pour water on a gas fire. Yeah, those tire fires. I think it's A. I'm right. It's A. Tire fires. All right. To help you stay alert while driving, you should snort some cocaine. A. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You don't do that because you'll lose your CDL. Back to the real answers. Okay. To help you stay alert while driving, you should A. Take periodic breaks. B. Schedule trips for hours that you are normally asleep. Or C. Take cold medicine if you have a cold. Take periodic breaks. Ugh, okay. Why would you take cold medicine? Yeah, obviously you take cold medicine if you have a cold, but you don't want to do it if you're going to be driving because it's going to make you sleepy. I hope to God I get these same questions when I go to take my CDL permit. Because right now, 53 questions, I'm at a 91%. That's good. That's good, baby. It's good. All right. To avoid a crash, you had to drive on the right shoulder. You are now driving at 40 miles per hour on the shoulder. How should you move back into the pavement? A. Brake hard to slow the vehicle, then steer sharply onto the pavement. There's always stream tomorrow so we can do this again. The next time I stream, I don't know if I'm going to be doing this or if I'm going to be playing Alaskan Road Truckers. I think my wife is working off tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow. I only stream when my wife is not home because she works at night. She's a nurse. Uh, so the only time I can stream is when my wife is not here. Because you gotta have family time, bro. You gotta have family time. Okay, so to avoid a crash, you had to drive on the right shoulder. You are now driving at 40 miles an hour on the shoulder. How should you move back into the pavement? A. Brake hard to slow the vehicle, then steer sharply onto the pavement. B. Steer sharply onto the pavement, then brake hard as you counter steer. What are you trying to drift? Stupid ass mother. I mean, sorry guys. Sorry. We can help you with your trucking class. I thought about doing this actually a couple of weeks ago when I was like, man, I should think about doing this. Because Greased Monkey, you wanted it. Hey Gus, are you seeing the stream like this or are you seeing it like this? It should be like this. It should be portrait mode. I'm pretty sure y'all are seeing it portrait mode. I'm almost 100% positive on that. Or C, if the shoulder is clear, stay on the right until your vehicle comes to a stop, then move back into the pavement when it is safe. You're seeing it vertical. See, that's what you wanted, and that's what you're getting, buddy. Yes, it is definitely C. Definitely C. You got it wrong. It's not C, it's A. I'm just kidding. It's C. It was C. Awesome. Yeah, Grease Monkey or Gus. He's always one. I can't figure out how to stream vertically when I do my video game streaming because I have a PlayStation 5. I can't figure it out. I think I have to have a PC to do that. All right. Which of these statements about driving in areas with strong wind is true? A, the lighter your vehicle, the less trouble you will have with the wind. B, winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. C, you should drive alongside other vehicles to help break up the wind. Obviously, it is C. Because I think a heavier, no, is it a heavier vehicle? Yeah. I think you should drive along other vehicles to help break the wind. Ooh, it's wrong. Don't drive in the Saskatchewan wind tunnel. Yeah, it says actually the answer was B. Winds are especially a problem when coming out of wind tunnels. See why. Section 2.7.3, space to the sides. Strong winds make it difficult to stay in your lane. The problem is usually worse for lighter vehicles. The problem can be especially bad coming out of tunnels. Don't drive alongside others if you can avoid it. I should have thought about that because if the wind is blowing and it tilts your truck and you're alongside somebody, bang, you're going to fall on top of them. So I should have thought about that, but I was dumb. I didn't think about that. Sorry guys. All right. Well, now I'm down to an 88%, which is still not bad. Could be better. All right. Which of these is a good thing to do when driving at night? A, keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlight. That's the answer. Keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. B, I'm going to look directly into the oncoming headlights only briefly. So, like a deer in headlights. Keep your instrument lights bright. Obviously, it's A, guys. All right. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry. Visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you should keep in front of your vehicle to be safe? I think it for 40 feet vehicle, I want to say 4 seconds. No, if it's a 40-foot vehicle under 30 miles an hour, it's 4 seconds. And then it's another second for every 5 miles over. I think it's 5 seconds. Yeah, some of these are really obvious. I'm going to say 5 seconds because I think if it's a 40 foot vehicle at 30 miles an hour, it would be 4 seconds. It's 5 seconds for every. That's 1 second for every 5 miles after that. Well, okay, here it is, Joey. Here's the key. It says you are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles an hour. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to say 5 seconds. Ooh, it's 4 seconds. God damn it! I got it wrong. It should have been 4 seconds. It should have been A. All right, CY. All right. Section 2.7.1, space ahead. How much space should you keep in front of you? One good rule says you need at least 1 second per each 10 feet of vehicle length at speeds below 40 miles an hour. Okay. So the 40-foot trailer at 40 miles an hour would be 4 seconds. At greater speeds, you add 1 second for safety. Okay, so he was doing 35 and it should have been 4 seconds since it was 35. If it was 40, it would still be 4 seconds, but it was 45, then it's 1 second. So, for example, if you are driving a 40-foot vehicle, you should leave 4 seconds between you and the vehicle ahead. Damn it. Okay. All right. What? Well, shit. Another ad. So I'm doing just general knowledge. If I'm not mistaken, general knowledge is a combination of all the questions. I could be wrong. This says, what is the proper way to hold a steering wheel? With both hands close together near the top of the wheel. A. B. With both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. C. With both hands close together near the bottom of the wheel. I'm going to say with both hands on the opposite side of the wheel. So I don't know. It should be near the top of the wheel. That one makes the most sense. Well, it says close together near the top of the wheel, so that would be like this. But you need to have them like that. So I'm going to say on the other side. What is another stupid ad? I hate these ads. Practice mode. Okay, what is the proper way to hold a steering wheel with both hands close together near the bottom of the? Oh wait. Okay, I had closed out the app and then had to reopen it, so it moved the answers around. What is the proper way to hold a steering wheel? A, with both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. B, with both hands close together near the bottom, so we know that's not it. And C, with both hands close together near the top of the wheel. Well, what do they consider near the top? No worries, Gus. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. I'm going to say on opposite sides of the wheel. I mean, because you say near the top, but you don't. How close is near? Is it like like this, like that, or 10 and 2 on a regular vehicle? So I'm going to say both sides of the wheel near the. Okay, I got it right. It's on opposite sides. Okay, high beams should be A, used when it is safe and legal to do so. B, turned on when an oncoming driver does not dim his or her lights. C, dimmed at the time when you get within 100 feet of another vehicle. So basically, when they're really close to you. I'm going to say used when it's safe and legal to do so. I got it right. Class 5 license, you have to classify at 10 and 2. What's a class 5 license? Yeah, I'm thinking it was because, like in a regular vehicle, it's 10 and 2. And that's basically on opposite sides of the steering wheel. 9 and 3 would be opposite sides, technically, but sometimes they have those crossbars on the steering wheel, so you have to hold it like right above that, which would be basically 10 and 2, in my opinion. I've never been in a truck, but I'm assuming it would be like 10 and 2. Okay, next question. You can see a marking on a vehicle. Regular class driver's license. Okay, okay. You can see a marking on a vehicle ahead of you. The marking is a red triangle with an orange center. What does the marking mean? A, the vehicle is hauling hazardous materials. B, it may be a slow moving vehicle. Or C, it is being driven by a student driver. Well, there's always one dumb answer. I'm going to say C is not the correct answer, a student driver. And I don't think it's a slow moving. I think it's the hazardous materials. Wait, is hazardous? It says red triangle with an orange center. Mm, let me see here. Well, a hazardous material is usually black and yellow. So sometimes understand. Slow moving vehicle. You're right, Gus. Slow moving vehicle. I was gonna guess hazard, but I was like, wait a minute. Hazard is usually yellow. Okay. Which of these is not part of the pre-trip inspection of the engine compartment? A, valve clearance. That's the answer. B, worn electrical wiring insulation. Or C, engine oil level. We have a lot of farmers here with tractors. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be valve clearance. All right. The road you are driving on becomes very slippery due to black ice. Not black guys, black ice. Uh, which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? Which of the driving? Okay, the road you are driving on becomes very slippery due to black ice. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? A, downshift to stop. B, keep varying your speed between acceleration and braking. Or C, stop driving as soon as you can safely do so. I'm going to say C. You downshift, you're going to cause a bigger problem. So there's the other stupid answer. Okay, here we go. You are driving a vehicle that could be driven safely at 55 miles per hour on an open road. But traffic is heavy and other vehicles drive at the speed of 35 miles per hour. Though the speed limit is 55 miles per hour, the safest speed for your vehicle is more likely to be, if everybody else is driving 35, A, 45, because it says the posted speed limit, it says your vehicle can be driven safely at 55 on an open road, but traffic is heavy and other vehicles drive at the speed of 35. So they're driving 35. What's the safest speed of vehicle? What's the safest speed for your vehicle is more likely to be? A, 45, B, 35, or C, 55. If everybody else is doing 35 and you're doing 45, you're going to hit somebody. If everybody's doing 35 and you go 55, you're going to hit somebody. So it's obviously B, 35. Okay. What? This is for you, Mr. Gus. This is for you. What is counter steering? Hmm. Answer it in the chat. Answer it. What is counter steering? Is it A, turning the wheel counterclockwise? There's always one dumb answer. Uh, B, using the steering axle brakes to prevent oversteering. Yes, I've always had tattoos. Or C, turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. I've always think about this one or this one. This one, this one, this one. You're correct. You're correct, Gus. Turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. Okay. Here we go with another ad. Woo! Have you always had a tattoo? Yeah, Angel. We used to work together, bro. You don't remember? Like I have three on my neck. I have one on my left, one on my right arm. Clues. Okay. All right. Uh. All right. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle? Okay. How is speed limited in Texas for truck? In my country, 90 km/h, 56 miles an hour. Uh, Segi, for trucks in the US, I think it's 65 is the maximum a truck can go that they're supposed to go, I think. But our trucks here are governed, most of them, unless you get one of those older trucks that aren't governed. But I think the ones here are governed. Uh, but I think the most a truck should do here is like 65. I could be wrong. Angel, answer that question. Answer Segi's question. Is there a maximum speed limit for trucks? All right. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? A, it is safer to back towards the right side of the vehicle than towards the driver's side. B, you should avoid backing whenever you can. That's impossible. That's the dumb answer because you always got to back into a dock. Or C, helpers should be out of the driver's sight. Helpers should be out of the driver's sight and use only voice signals to communicate with the driver. It says which one of these statements is true? It's obviously going to be A. It is safer to back towards the right side of the vehicle than towards the driver's side. Oh, it says which one of these back about backing a heavy vehicle. Okay, helpers should be out of the driver's sight and use voice signals to communicate. Oh, so it might be C actually, because if you back towards the right side, yeah, I believe it's 65. I could be wrong, Zaggy. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? It is safer to back towards the right side of the vehicle than towards the driver's side. It's either A or C. Helpers should be out of the driver's sight and use only voice signals. Yeah, I think it's A. I got it wrong. You should avoid backing whenever. That doesn't make sense, though. You should avoid backing whenever you can. How, how are you going to avoid backing when you're going into a loading dock? You can't drive forward into the loading dock. Some of these questions make no sense. We're going to see why. Section 2.24, 2.2.4, backing safely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're always going backwards. Okay, because you cannot see everything behind your vehicle, backing is always dangerous. Avoid backing whenever you can. This sounds like a common sense question. That should not be the answer. I mean, you're backing up every single day. Every single day you have to back up, whether it be in a parking spot at a truck stop, more than likely. I mean, or you're backing into a dock. That doesn't make sense to me. All right, we're going to continue. All right. It is only 9:08. It's 9:08 already? Wow. I've been live for an hour and 42 minutes. 102 minutes. So that's an hour and 42. Yeah. Hour and 43 minutes. And I have 8 likes on the stream. This is awesome. Let's see. Top fans is Joey. Gust is 2. Gus is 2. Gombini Galvin is 3. Eccles is 4. Michael Zarko, Segi, Alan Williams, Ariel. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy to me. All right. All right. Question 65. We're at 87. We're on question number 65. So 64 questions. I've answered 87% correct. But y'all have helped me with a couple of these. All right. Which of these best describes how to use the brake pedal on a steep downhill grade? A. Repeated strong breath pressure, then release. B. Release the brake when you are 5 miles below your safe speed, then let your speed come back up to your safe speed and repeat again. Bring down in parentheses, it says bring down 5 miles per hour below your five, uh, below your safe speed. Or C, light pumping action. I'm going to say light pumping action. I got it wrong. It's actually B. It's actually B. Release the brake when you are 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, then let your speed come back up to your safe speed and repeat again. Oh, so each time you're doing it, you're decreasing it by 5 miles an hour. So you're pushing the brake, you're 5 miles below the safe speed, then you let it come back up to your normal speed, and then you decrease it again, and then decrease it again, and then yeah, you keep decreasing. I get it. CY. Section 2.16.4, proper braking technique. 1. Apply the brakes just hard enough to feel a definite slowdown. Two, when your speed has reduced to approximately 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, release the brakes. This brake application should last for about 3 to 4 seconds. When your speed has increased to your safe speed, repeat steps 1 and 2. Okay. Now I'm down to 77% somehow. I just dropped 10% just on one question? That doesn't make sense. I think since I've backed out and had to come back in, I think the answers are wrong. You probably should have. I probably should have too, because it was the longest answer. All right. Which of these statements about using turn signals is true? One, when turning, you should signal early. B, you should use your turn signal to mark your vehicle. You should use your turn signal to mark your vehicle when it is pulled off on the side of the road. C, you do not need to use your turn signal when changing lanes and traffic on a 4-lane highway. Really? It's A. When turning, you should signal early. That's a common sense answer right there. Okay. Which of these statements about double clutching and shifting is true? A. Double clutching should not be used when the road is slippery. B. Double clutching should only be used with a heavy load. C. You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. C. You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. I got it right. It was C. It was C. Because you use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. It's usually like between 15 and I want to say it's between 15 and 1800 RPMs. All right. Which of these statements about speed management is true? Set your cruise control. I'm just kidding. Which of these statements about speed management is true? A, when you double your speed, it will take you twice the distance to stop. Empty trucks always stop in a shorter distance than fully loaded. It takes longer to stop an empty truck than it does a full truck or a fully loaded trailer. So, and then C, you should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. C. Because an empty truck does not stop in a shorter distance. You would think so because it's lighter. But when you have that weight on top of your drive axles, it stops you faster. So if it's a heavy load, then it's going to stop you faster. So it is C. Here we go talking about retards again. I mean, oh, sorry, retarders. Sorry, retarders. Retarders. A. Work when you apply the brake pedal. B. Can cause the driver wheels to skid when they have poor traction. And C. Cause extra brake wear. Actually, I think it is A. That is the best answer. Can cause the driver wheels to skid when they have poor traction. Cause extra brake wear is C, and then A is work when you apply the brake pedal. I'm going to say A. I was wrong. It's B. Can cause driver wheels to skid when they have poor traction. Here we go. Retarders, section 2.3.4. 2.3.4. When you drive, when your drive wheels have poor traction, the retarder may cause them to skid. Therefore, you should turn the retarder off whenever the road is wet, icy, or snow covered. You learn something new every day because I did not know that. I thought it was when you apply the brake, then it. But anyway, yeah, that's something you turn off and on. I forgot about that. I should have thought about that. All right. Damn it, Jim. Okay. To correct drive wheel braking skid, you should A, increase braking, turn quickly, and counter steer. B, stop braking, turn quickly, then counter steer. Or C, increase braking. I think increasing the braking is going to make it worse. I think it's going to make it worse. So stop braking, turn quickly, then counter steer. I'm going to say stop braking. I got it right. You stop braking. Okay. When exiting or entering on a curved freeway ramp, you should A, maintain a speed 5 to 10 miles under the posted speed limit. B, slow down to at least 50% of the posted speed limit. Or C, maintain the posted speed limit. Entering on a curved freeway or ramp. I'm going to say maintain 5 to 10 miles under the posted speed limit. But on a regular car, you want to speed up to get on the highway. You want to speed up to match their speed. But it says on a curved freeway, and most of the time when you're talking about curved, going down curves, you slow down. So I'm going to say maintain a speed of 5 to 10 under the posted speed limit. I got it right. I got it right. You maintain the, you you lower it 5 to 10 miles an hour because you're going around a curve. If it's straight, I think you're gonna keep the posted speed. But it's talking about going around a curve. All right. Which of the following vehicles have the longest stopping distance? We talked about this one earlier, so you should get this. This is for you, Segi, and this is for you, Gus. I know the answer because we discussed it earlier, but this is for you. Which of the following vehicles will have the longest stopping distance? A bobtail tractor. B, an empty truck. Or C, a loaded truck. Hit the answers in the comments. It's on you. I already know what it is. I'll give you a hint. This is an A B conversation. You see your way out. Oh my God. Oh, it's so dumb funny. You said B, Gus? Bus. No, Gus. So we talked about this earlier. You said B. I don't know. I think Sega had to leave for a second. Uh, we were talking about this earlier. When you have an empty truck, let's say you have an empty truck or trailer. Take the bobtail out of the thing because it's not even there. Um, when you have a loaded truck versus an empty truck, if you have an empty truck, there's no weight on the axles. When you have weight on the axles, it causes you to it puts pressure on that truck to stop. It puts weight on it. It makes it easier to stop. When it's empty, it's just like you're just flying. So it's always going to be a loaded truck. Yeah, watch. You want to see the answer? You think I'm lying to you? Right here. Loaded truck. Boop. And then boop. We're wrong. Gotcha. Hmm. I'm so stupid. I was looking at the answer. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm dumb. I thought that I read the question wrong. That was my fault. Okay. So we're going to read this again. Which of the following vehicles will have the longest stopping distance? Shit, I'm so stupid. Yeah, it's an empty trailer. So yeah, it was an empty trailer. I'm so stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dang it. Gus, you got it right. It was B, empty truck. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Let's see here. Oh man. So you guys, I finally got my Twitter back, or my X back. I don't know if you all were hearing me the other night, but I told you Twitter had banned my, like, suspended my account. They gave it back to me after finally, like, 5 times. Uh, yeah. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah. Twitter finally gave me my account back after like 5 times of like appealing it. I was like, "Yo, prove it to me. Show me where. Show me." Well, they finally sent me an email saying, "Okay, well, we normally send you an email with whatever, however, how you broke the rules." I'm like, "Well, I'm all asking for is proof. Show me where I did it, because I don't. The only thing I post is my YouTube shorts and my YouTube live streams. That's all I post." And I don't know, I'm not cursing. I'm not saying, "Oh my God, come out and check out my, I'm naked on YouTube," or something like that. I'm like, there's girls on Twitter that are sitting there freaking posing. "Do you like this, baby? I need a, I need a bleep bleep." Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think I'm going to go post in slow and steady and tell her, "Hey, I'm live right now. Come check me out." All right. How many, this is the next question, guys. How many red reflective triangles are you required to carry? A is 4, B is 3, C is 2. It's 3. One at 10 feet, one at 100, one at 200. No, Gus. I don't know if you were here when they asked that question earlier. It was similar. It was a similar question, like, where should you place the red triangles at? And one of them was at 10 feet, 100 feet, and 300 feet. Or 200 feet, sorry. 10, 100, 200. So it's 3. I got it right. Yippee! All right. You are required to inspect your truck within how many miles after beginning the trip? A, 50. I'm not a trucker either. I've never studied for this. I'm using my brain. I'm just thinking about it like common sense. I have practiced this test before a couple times, but I mean, I've never really gotten the book and like read through everything. You are required to inspect your truck within how many miles after beginning the trip? A is 50 miles. B is 150. C, 100. I'm going to say C, 100. Because they asked about that earlier. I think you should check your something like every 200 miles or 2 hours or 100 miles. Ooh, it's wrong. Okay. It says you are required to inspect your truck within how many miles after beginning the trip? And it's actually 50 miles. Shouldn't you inspect your truck before you're required to inspect within how many miles after beginning the trip? Okay. Well, I thought you were supposed to do a pre-trip. So technically you should do it before you start. I thought it was 100 also, Gus. I really did. But it's actually 50. All right. Here it goes. Section 2.1.6. Inspection during a trip. Drivers of trucks and truck tractors, when transporting cargo, must inspect the securement of the cargo within the first 50. Okay, so it says inspect your truck. It doesn't say the cargo. Okay, must inspect the securement of the cargo within the first 50 miles of a trip and every 150 miles of every 3 hours, whichever comes first after. So you do the within 50 miles of the trip, and then after that it's every 150 miles. Yeah, for real. I guess I know I'm getting kind of dumb. All right. There are two types of jackknife. They are A, both trailer and tractor. B, tractor. And C, trailer. Well, if there's two types, I would think that would be tractor and trailer, right? That makes sense because B is just tractor, C is just trailer. If there's two types, that's only showing one type. So both trailer and tractor. Okay. The BAC, or blood alcohol content or concentration, for commercial drivers to be considered intoxicated when driving a commercial vehicle is 0.04, 0.01, zero 0.01, 0.1. I'm going to say 0.01. Or is it 0.04? I'm going to say 0.01. You're right. It's 0.04. Shit! I don't think I'm really at 70%. I really don't. I think that's wrong. Because out of 76 questions, I haven't missed that many. But I've closed the app and it's like redone everything. Let's see here, score. Oh, it says I've gotten 60 out of, okay. It says I'm at I'm at a 78%. I've gotten 60 out of 76 questions correct. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to reset the stats. Okay. Continue. Where should the ignition key be during the pre-trip inspection? A, in your pocket. B, in the ignition. Or C, on the driver's seat. During the pre-trip. So you use the key and then you have to take it out. And I believe I think it's on the driver's seat. Is it on the driver's seat or in your pocket? I think it's on the driver's seat. Oh, oh shoot. So there's a total of 239 possible questions. Well, 239 total questions. But I think I'm trying to remember how many I think they said if you get 80 questions right, if you test 80 questions and you get like at least 80%, then you pass. So I don't remember exactly how it works, how that works. Okay, where should the ignition key be during the pre-trip inspection? Let's see here. Give me a second. I'm going to say it should be in the. Where should the ignition key be buried during the? I'm going to say in the ignition. I really am. It's B. I'm wrong. It says in your pocket. Let me see here. What are you doing here? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how I got that wrong, but okay. All right. Shit. Okay. Section 2.1.5, 7-step inspection method. Step 4, make sure the parking brake is set, turn off the engine, and take the key with you. Okay. Well, now I know. All right. When loading a trailer, if the cargo is loaded all to the rear, it may result in A, damage to the steering axle, B, poor traction on the drive wheels, or C, wheel lockup. I'm going to say poor traction to the driving wheels. That was correct. Okay. Communication means, let's see, almost said pocket, but didn't make sense to me. Yeah, it says in your pocket. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Communication means talk on the CB radio, to communicate your intention to other motorists, or C, talking with law enforcement officers. I'm going to say to communicate your intention to other motorists. Correct. If you are convicted for driving under the influence while driving a commercial vehicle, and this is your first offense, you most likely will get a fine of $250, B, at least 1 year suspension of your CDL. That's the one I'm thinking. Or C, a probation period for 1 year. I'm thinking a 1 year suspension of your CDL. That's what I think. And I was right. If you are stopped on the roadside, rest area, and found to have a BAC, blood alcohol concentration, of 0.02, you will A, be placed out of service for 72 hours, B, be in deep trouble with your dispatcher, or C, be placed out of service for 24 hours. Now remember, they talked about the BAC earlier. 0.04 was the correct answer, and then that will be legally intoxicated. I'm going to say be placed out of service for 24 hours. Because it's only 0.02. It's not, I mean, that's right. 24 hours. Okay, let me see something here. No, okay. Oh, okay. I can actually do polls. That's pretty cool. What is this? Green screen? No. Take that crap off. Wait, hold on. Green screen. Hey, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Gus, what do you think? You like that? King OTR Trucking. Segi, I'm gonna slap them. You're lucky I can't go to Russia or Czechoslovakia right now, buddy. You're lucky. Hey, how do y'all like that? Does that look pretty cool? Has like the green screen, has like my logo in the back. That's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that until just now. Okay. I'm gonna do it, Seggy. I'll get the pimp hand at you. All right. Which of the following statements about speed management is true? I think I asked this question earlier. It asked me this question earlier. Empty truck and loaded trucks will have the same stopping distance. That's false. If you double your... Which of the following statements about speed management is true? If you double your speed, stopping distance will be increased by 4 times.
B, empty truck and loaded trucks will have the same stopping distance. I know that's false. If you double your speed, stopping distance will double. If you double your speed, stopping distance will increase by 4 times. So if you're doing 35, you go 70. I'm going to say if you double your speed, stopping distance will double. I don't know if it's that one or the 4. If you double your speed, stopping distance will increase by 4 times. I should have said the first one. No, it was A. If you double your speed, stopping distance will be increased by 4 times. So I got that wrong. I'm still at a 78%, so I need to get like the next 10 questions right or some shit. Okay, continue. You are traveling down a long, steep hill. Your brakes get so hot that they have failed. What should you do? Look for A. This is what I think it is. Actually, B. Or C. Yeah, C. Look for an escape ramp and escape route. Or B. Downshift and pump the brake pedal. Or C. Both. It's okay. I'm going to say both. Wrong. Fuck. I was wrong. You're traveling down a long, steep hill. Your brakes get so hot that they have failed. I should have thought about that. Well, if they failed, there's no point in pumping the brakes. It should just be look for an escape ramp or an escape route. Crap. Okay. All right. The center of gravity of a load. A. Should be kept as high as possible. B. Is only a problem if the vehicle is overloaded. Or C. Can make a vehicle more likely to tip over on curves if it is high. The center of gravity of a load should be kept as high as possible. Is only a problem if the vehicle is overloaded. Can make a vehicle more likely to tip over on curves if it is high. We'll say C. And it's right. Good job. Hey, all right, another stupid commercial. Another ad. Woo! I can't believe it's already 9:40, man. That's crazy. I've been doing this 2 hours and 134 minutes. So 120. So it's 2 hours and 14 minutes, basically, right? 120 is 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Okay, continue. Okay, done. I don't want to see this. Continue. Okay. All right. To prevent a load from shifting, there should be at least one tie down for every blank feet of cargo. To prevent a load from shifting, there should be at least one tie down for every blank feet of cargo. A, 10, B, 20, or C, 15. I'm going to say I've seen this question before, but I don't remember it. I'm going to say for every 10 feet, even though that may not be right. Is it 10 or 15? It's either 10 or 15. I don't remember. Let's say 15 and hope I get it right. I should have said 10. Damn it. Crap. Okay. While driving, ice builds up on your wipers and they no longer clean the windshield. You should A, stop safely and fix the problem. B, keep driving and turn your defroster on. Well, if you have ice outside, you should be having the defroster on anyway, in my opinion. Or C, keep driving and spray the windshield with washer fluid. I'm going to say stop safely and fix the problem. And I got it right. Okay. Here's a question about brakes. When the hydraulic brakes fail while you are driving, the system will not build up pressure, and the brake pedal will feel spongy or go to the floor. What should you do? A, put the vehicle in neutral and set the parking brake. B, pump the brake pedal to generate pressure. Well, it says it right there in the sentence, so it's not B. You're not going to pump the brake pedal to generate pressure because it says it will not generate pressure. It will not build up pressure. Or C, push down the brake pedal as hard as you can. I'm going to say put the vehicle in neutral and set the parking brake. What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. It's B. It says when the hydraulic brakes fail while you're driving, the system will not build up pressure. Okay, will not build up pressure, and the brake pedal will feel spongy or go to the floor. What should you do? I said put the vehicle in neutral and set the parking brake. That's wrong. Apparently it is pump the brake pedal to generate pressure. It says it won't build up pressure. So how does it make sense? Section 2.17.3, brake failure. Pump the brakes. Sometimes pumping the brake pedal will generate enough hydraulic pressure to stop the vehicle. But the question, basically, it said it will not build up pressure. So that doesn't make any sense. It literally says it right there. Wait, no, that won't work. That won't work. It literally says it. When the hydraulic brakes fail while you're driving, the system will not build up pressure. Will not do it. So what's the point in pressing the pedal like this, pumping the brakes to generate the pressure if it won't build up pressure? Makes no sense. Thanks, guys. Not you guys. The freaking studying thing here. That doesn't make sense. That's a trick question. Okay. Which may be a sign of tire failure? A, vibration. B, wheels skidding. Or C, a loud hissing noise. Well, it could be multiple. It could be vibration or a loud hissing noise. Tire failure. vibration, a loud hissing noise. I'm going to say vibration. It's probably C, a loud hissing noise. Nope, I got it right. It's vibration. Okay. All right. To prevent brake fade, you should A, apply constant hard pressure on the brakes while driving downhill. We know that's not right. Coast downhill if it's not very steep. Select the gear, which will keep your vehicle to a safe speed on a deep downgrade. I'm going to say select the gear, which will keep your vehicle at a safe speed. I got it right. Okay. A full stop is required at a railroad crossing when the nature of the cargo makes you stop, mandatory under the state or federal regulations. B, there is no flagman, warning signals, or gate at the crossing. Or C, the crossing is in the city or town with frequent train transit. I'm going to say there is no flagman, warning signals, or gate at the crossing. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say B. And it's actually A. The nature of the cargo makes a stop mandatory under the state or federal regulations. Shit. Now I'm getting lower and lower now. I'm missing more and more. Now I'm down to 75% out of 90 questions. Not doing too good here. When driving at night, you should use your high beams when oncoming traffic is not, I'm going to say within 500 feet. A, 400 feet, B, 300 feet, or C, 500 feet. We had a question like this earlier. I thought it said between 3 and 500 feet. I could be wrong. So it was between 3 and 500 feet. What's the correct answer? I'm going to say 500 feet. And I'm right. It's 500 feet. When driving through a work zone, you should A, reduce your speed only if workers are present. Reduce your speed only if workers are close to the roadway. B, watch for sharp pavement drop off. Or C, turn on your parking lights. Turn on your parking lights. Watch for sharp pavement drop off. I'm going to say reduce the speed. That's a good one. We dropping? I'm wrong. Watch for sharp pavement drop off. Shit. Backing of the commercial vehicle is A, not dangerous if you don't have to turn. Always dangerous. It's always dangerous. Not dangerous if you have a helper. Always dangerous. I got that one right. That was an easy one. When you are parked on the side of the road at night, you must A, turn on your four-way emergency flashers to warn others. B, put out your emergency warning lights within 30 minutes. Or C, use your taillights to give warning to other drivers. I'm going to say turn on your four-way emergency flashers. That's correct. You must stop on a hill or curve on a two-lane, two-way road. How far should you place reflective triangles? As far back as necessary so others can see you, within 500 feet behind you, within 200 feet behind you. I think if it's within a curve, it's 500 feet. And I'm right. Within 500 feet. If it's going around a curve or a hill, it's 500 feet. Stab braking, stab, like stab braking, should not be used on vehicles with A, trailers, B, anti-lock brakes, C, hazardous materials. I'm just going to take a wild guess on this one and say hazardous materials. Even though I don't know what stab braking is, I'm guessing that's hard braking. I'm going to say hazardous materials. And I'm wrong. It's anti-lock brakes. So yet again, I'm failing. I am at 75% still. I'm going to go to 100 questions. So that means I've got this one and 3 more. Or this one and 2 more. Total of 3. All right. Sometimes you need to leave a road to avoid a hazard or emergency. When you do, you should keep in mind that A, it is less dangerous to drive onto shoulders than to cause a collision. B, most shoulders are not strong enough to support a heavy vehicle. C, you might be able to re-enter the road because of the gavel used on shoulders. Sometimes you need to leave a road to avoid a hazard or emergency. When you do, it is less dangerous to drive onto the shoulders than to cause a collision. I'm going to say A. I got that right. Which of the following is not a characteristic of tire failure? Steering wheel twisting, vehicle's fishtail, cold steering. What the? I don't know. Which of the following is not a characteristic of tire failure? Cold steering. A, vehicle's fishtail. B, steering wheel twisting. C, cold steering. I'm gonna say vehicle's fishtail. I got it wrong. Cold steering. Whatever the fuck cold steering is, I don't know. Another one wrong. Yippee-doo. 99. Question number 99. Most skids, A, happen on ice. B, do not happen with radial tires. Or C, are caused by going too fast or trying to stop too quickly. It's C. Number 100. In bad weather, many drivers tailgate large vehicles. What should you do? We've had this question earlier too. A, increase your following distance. B, lightly tap your brake to warn the tailgater to drop back. C, speed up to distance yourself from the tailgater. The light just flickered again. I'm going to say increase your following distance. Wait. Many drivers tailgate large vehicles. Yeah, you don't want to speed up to increase the front. Man, I don't know. It's either A or C. Earlier, I think it said increase your following distance. We're going to submit that. It's correct. Which of the following systems should receive extra attention during winter weather inspection? A, suspension. Ghost. B, exhaust, or C, steering? Uh, which of the following systems should receive extra attention during winter weather? I'm going to say steering. And it's exhaust. Yeah, I got another one wrong. What happens to tar on the road pavement during hot weather? A, it becomes staining, making tires stick to the road. B, nothing. Or C, it bleeds, making the road surface slippery. I'm going to say it makes the road surface slippery. I got it right. What is the best advice for drivers when heavy fog occurs? A, do not drive too slowly or other drivers may hit you. B, park the truck until the fog disappears. Alternate, or C, alternate your high beams to improve your vision. You definitely don't want to put high beams on. I'm going to say park the truck until the fog disappears. I got it right. In mountain driving, you will have to use a lower gear to drive safely on a grade. Which of these does not affect your choice of gear? A, the length of the grade. B, tire tread depth. Or C, the weight of the load. I'm going to say the length of the grade. No, the weight of the. It's either the length of the grade or the weight of the load. No, I'm gonna say the length of the grade. And it's the tire's tread depth. Neither fucking one. Sorry. Yeah, let's get another one wrong. Yippee! It seems like the more questions I answer, the harder it gets. Because when I got like the first 70 or something like that, it was easy. And the farther I'm getting into the higher the number I get into the questions, the harder they get. What should you do before driving in the mountains? A, carry the tire chains in your vehicle. B, no escape ramp locations on your way. Yeah, that one. C, unhook your steering axle brake. Another one of these. Yeah, the last few have been tough. Escape ramps. A, are designed to slow vehicles so they can get back on the road at the safe speed. B, should be used by any driver who loses braking power. I think that's it. C, are not designed for tractors, double trailers. Used by any driver who loses braking power. That's what I think. And I'm right. Which of these is true about notifying the authorities after an accident occurs? Which of these is true about notifying the authorities after an accident occurs? A, an exact location is not necessary, just identify the road and the vehicles involved. B, you should notify authorities about an accident before doing anything else. If you have a cellular phone or CB radio, you should notify the authorities before exiting the vehicle. I'm going to say that one. And I was right. Okay, it was C. If you are not sure what to use to put out a hazardous material fire, you should A, use dirt. B, wait for firefighters. Or C, use water. I'm going to say wait for firefighters. B. I'm right. Which of these is not a danger of a rough acceleration? A. Mechanical damage. B. Tire damage. Or C. Damage of a coupling. I'm going to say B or C. Which of these is not a danger of a rough acceleration? Mechanical damage, tire damage, damage of a coupling. Let's say damage of a coupling. Tire damage is not a danger of rough acceleration? How does that make sense? It says which of these is not a danger of rough acceleration? Tire damage? How does that make sense? Which of these is not a danger of rough acceleration? A. Mechanical damage. B. Tire damage. C. Damage of a coupling. I said C. Damage of a coupling, but it's B. Accelerating. Section 2.2.1. Speed up smoothly and gradually so the vehicle does not jerk. Rough acceleration can cause mechanical damage. When pulling a trailer, rough acceleration can damage the coupling. Oh. I'm so stupid. I read that wrong. Which of these is not a danger of rough acceleration? Wait a minute. It should be tire damage should be right. No, it's wrong. Because it says when pulling rough acceleration can damage the coupling. It says which is not a danger of rough acceleration. Rough acceleration can cause mechanical damage. Okay. And it can cause damage to the coupling. But can't you cause tire damage too? Maybe it's saying if the tires are damaged. I don't know, man. I'm so. One last question. Which of these lights cannot be checked at the same time? A. Turn signals, tail lights, and clearance lights. B. Headlights, brake lights, and clearance lights. C. Turn signals, brake lights, and four-way flashers. It's got to be headlights, brake lights, and clearance lights, because the headlights control the clearance lights and the headlights, not the brake lights. I have driving license for a truck, but no trailers, but I understand only sometimes. I want to say headlights, brake lights, and clearance lights. And I got that wrong. Which of these lights cannot be checked at the same time? Headlights, brake lights, and clearance lights. Okay, that's what I put. But it's supposed to be turn signals, brake lights, and four-way flashers. If your four-way flashers are working, that means your turn signals are working. And your brake lights are working. Ugh, so stupid. Section 2.1.4, CDL pre-trip vehicle inspection test. Step 6, get out and check the lights. Checks for brake, turn signal, and four-way flasher functions must be done separately. I answered that right. Oh, no, never mind. No, I didn't. Okay. Get out and check the lights. Checks for brakes, turn signals, and four-way flashers must be done separately. Okay. That's going to end the stream tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys coming in tonight. Uh, let's see. Score. Yeah, I did crappy. I got a 73 out of 80. 73% out of 80. 81 questions out of 110. So we're going to reset the stats and we're going to go back again. The next time I go live, I think I'll do this again. This is pretty fun. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a great night. And thanks for joining. Peace and love, baby.